People come to church for many reasons. Some people come for the music. Some people come to pray and be in a sanctuary of peace. Some people come for the fellowship aspect. But many, many people come to hear the sermon. So what is it about the sermon? How should you listen to the sermon to get the most out of it? Let's talk about that for a second. For every sermon, there is a beginning and a middle and the end. So for someone sitting in the pews, like I am now, the first thing to do when the sermon begins is to get comfortable. Find a comfortable place in the pew. Cross your legs, don't cross your legs, whatever you want. Prior to that, you should look in the bulletin and read, what is the scripture lesson for today? And you should read it. When you're reading it, try to catch on to something that is important about that reading, maybe the main point or at least a secondary point. And that's the end of the beginning. So then you start listening to the minister. He or her begins preaching. Try to find out one thing that they're talking about, the main point or even a secondary point again. Think about that. Open yourself to the Spirit, listening closely to the words, listening to the gestures or watching the gestures, listening to the tone up and down, and trying to discover through the whole sermon the content. And then after the sermon is finished, try to ask yourself, what was that main point? What am I supposed to do now that the sermon has been preached? When you listen to the beginning and the middle and the end of the sermon, that's the best way to listen to a sermon.